everyone. I welcome you all to another very interesting session called as Sharing the Scoop. And today I have a very exciting guest today with us, Dr. Nisha Sharma, who is going to share her scoop with our audience right now. So over to you. So hi Nisha.
Hi sir, how are you?
I'm very good. I hope you are also very good and safe as well.
Yes, thank you. We all are. Yeah.
So Nisha, can you please introduce yourself a bit for our audience?
Yeah. Okay, hi everyone. I am Dr. Nisha Sharma. So I'm a dentist by profession and I practiced for 6 years. During my stint as a dental professional, I had my own private practice and I was also a consultant in a BMC run hospital and at a Bandra research center and hospital. And after working for 6 years, I realized that I wanted to do something more, but I did not want to do a master's in dentistry. So the only choice I was left with was of doing an MBA. So I thought in great detail about doing, should I do it or not, and would it be the right choice or not. So finally I went ahead, did my MBA, and I'm just passed out from 2020 batch from IIM Bangalore.
So excellent. So guys, those who don't know, she has just completed her MBA from the prestigious B school of the country, which is IIM Bangalore, and she is, I think, placed also right now, and just waiting for her office to start due to the whole coronavirus pandemic. So Nisha, can you just brief us exactly why MBA basically? And as you said that you wanted to do the masters and especially not in dentist, but you could have still done other things as well, but you went to MBA, which is definitely not the first choice if I ask the doctors out there, to get into the management or the commerce aspect of the field, basically.
Right. Absolutely. You're very right that it is a very uncommon choice for a doctor to go into the management studies. But as I'm seeing, slowly more and more doctors are getting into it. But personally, talking for me, the motivation was, so while I was practicing, I saw few dentists who were consulting to dental product companies, and I asked them that, how did you get into this? So they told me that they have done their MBA and that is how they are consulting these companies. And all of them had their own practice also. So I thought that maybe even I could do it with my own practice, since I told you that I was already having a practice. But I asked everyone. So healthcare was another thing and hospital management is another thing. So I found out a little more detail about both these two compared to the core MBA. But everyone that I talked to suggested me that I should do a core MBA rather than just healthcare or the hospital administration kind of thing, because it would open up more choices. So I wouldn't just be restricted to the healthcare or the hospital thing. I mean, since you can consider that now doing this core MBA also opened me to consulting or the FMCG products or things like that. So that is why when I did my research, I found that core MBA was a much better option compared to the normal MBA.
Okay, great. Since you said that you had your own practice going on and everything, and so you started preparing started preparing for your MBA entrances as well, side by side, while you were working and working in some hospitals as well. So can you tell us your experience in bit? How was your preparation and everything?
Yeah. So for preparation for me, so I used to study whenever I studied almost for 1.5 years, and I used to study in between patients and whenever I had free time in my clinic. So I saw to it that I am not wasting any time, since but if you people are just studying, then you have that liberty. But for me, it was not there. So I will say that please do study to the fullest. So for my strategy, I would say that I knew that since being a doctor, I had an advantage of the being of the niche category. So it's more about doing the things right rather than attempting more things. So you should focus on getting whatever you have written as right.
Correct. So the whole diversification factor also played, and IIMs have started with this whole gender diversity and the profile diversity as well. So I am very
Yes,
sure that has worked in your favor in good ways.
yes, yes.
Let's go ahead with that part as well. Now, so you prepared for your MBA entrances, CAT, and every other exam as well, and then then what was your first reaction when you came to know that you have a call from IIM Bangalore, and basically, did you have any other calls also, and what was the experience basically?
Yes, I was excited, but I was pretty sure. So the only college I did not get a call from was IIM Ahmedabad. Otherwise, I had got from all the colleges, including Symbiosis and everything else, Goa Institute of Management and everything else. So I was expecting. So before taking admission to IIM Bangalore, I had already given up Symbiosis admission and Goa Institute admission without even knowing that I would be accepted at IIM Bangalore. So that was a leap of faith that I took for myself, knowing that okay, somewhere I will, because I've given so many IIM interviews, somewhere or the other I will land up in then IIM category. Okay, coming about the GDPIs that are there. So I think the only GDPI was taken was IIM Kohiko. IIM ABC does not take, they do
Correct.
not take any GDs at all. They
They
are
have
more focused on the personal interviews and do write your. So I would like to give one point is very, very clear. If you get a call from the college, when you write your SOP, statement of purpose for the college, make absolutely make it thorough, and whatever you have written, you absolutely should remember it by heart, and whatever you have written, you have to have proofs for it. So what they actually check into personal interview is you are, because integrity is something that they value a lot. So if you show that you have integrity and just don't say anything in the air, whatever you say, you have to say it with a lot of confidence. So even I should not give this example, but I'm saying that it's like even अगर आप झूठ बोल रहे हो तो आपको एकदम confidence से झूठ बोलना है और उससे हटना नहीं है. It's like that. Because I did this mistake in IIM Bangalore interview itself. So there was something named I had written a quote by someone named as Andre Glide, and after the whole interview was over, I was asked, "Who tell me something more about Andre Glide?" And I, for a second, I was wondering who is this Andre Glide. So that was my googly question, and I liked to it. I just said that I like to write quotes, and I mean, whenever in my diary, and whenever I find useful, I just typify it wherever required. So they asked me what are the other quotes there you have written in your diary, and there was no such diary, which they caught. So you have to be very, very confident
correct.
about whatever you have written in your SOP. So that is
Correct.
one point that you should know. And another point is how much you should do you stand for the point that you have said. And it goes for both the things, whether it is your GD or whether it is your personal interview. If you have said something, then you should stand for it. So, for example, for me, it was said that would you do the service? I mean, since at that time Ayushman Bharat was coming in picture,
Correct.
and
Correct.
being a doctor, so every interview I faced, I was defending the doctors, because everywhere doctors were called black sheep, black sheep, black sheep everywhere, and people literally said that. And every interview, be it I am B, C, or the symbiosis interview or anything else, everyone was accusing doctors. So I was standing there defending the doctor community. And another interesting question was asked to me in IIM Bangalore was, if everything comes under Ayushman Bharat, then you won't be able to do your own private practice, or people coming under Ayushman Bharat would be paid by the government. So suppose if the IS officer is not paying you, would you still continue with the treatment? And I said, so here is what integrity comes in. I said that yes, I will do, because I am a doctor first.
Correct.
So that,
Correct.
I think that also changed their mindset. So that is what I said, that they do look for integrity and leadership qualities that I said that, even you're facing the worst of adversities, do you have the ability to face it or not? Will you can take any decision, that's not an issue, but are you standing up to that decision or not according to your personality? So
Correct,
this,
correct,
so it's very important when you say, especially it's a very common question that, what are your strengths and weaknesses and everything. So you have to be very specific about what you say and give examples for it. So that what you are saying comes with a proof and it says that yes, this is right and she can do it.
correct, correct, correct. She stand by her word basically.
Yes,
So
yes, you should
that
absolutely. So once you say something, before saying, just think for a second, and people are very, very generous. The interviewers are very generous. It's not like something which is very stress kind of interview or something like that. They take it easy. But yes, before speaking, you should think a bit. Even if you take a minute, it is absolutely 30 seconds. It is absolutely fine by the interviewers. But once you say something, you should stick to it.
okay, okay. Happy to know that. Then you got into the college, and can you describe your experience with the pre-placement things or the internship experience which you had, where you were interning? Can you tell us as well?
So, since I was coming from a healthcare background, it was a kind of very niche background where I was not fitting into, and plus I had 6 years of work experience, which was on a little higher side. So, ideally, 3 to 4 years or a fresher, it is very easy for them to get internships compared to me, who was on the 6 year side comparatively. So I interned at a place called United Healthcare Group. So they have an office called as Optum, which is in Noida. And I was taken there as a data scientist. But uh, trust me, people who take you, they know what work you can do and what work you will not be able to do. So though I was taken as a data scientist, I never did any data scientist kind of job. I was asked to do a strategy job, and strategy was my strength. The subjects related to strategy is what I had taken even in MBA. And so they ideally they do, so for freshers it is quite easy because a lot many FMCG companies or people coming from marketing companies, you have a lot chances compared to other people. So I do not think that one should be worried about, okay, where will I get placed. And yes, there are times when you feel that, okay, this is not the right place for me and I will not get anywhere or things like that. I felt it the same. So I tell you, out of 150 companies, only 3 companies had shortlisted me. While my friends who were freshers or who had a lesser work experience, they were getting shortlisted to 50, 60 companies. So yes, it does get a little bit, disheartening that, despite having everything, you are doing well and you're coming from a niche background and still you're not getting chance. So that does happen. But at the end, everything falls into place is what I will say. So my internship was in Noida. I worked there for 2 months and then I came back, and this was the first time also that I was working in a corporate sector. So I had a very nice experience coming. If I tell you about my friends, they also did very nice jobs. Like a friend from ITC, he was working on the field in the market. So you do feel कि अरे ये क्या करा रहे हैं हमसे, but yes, it's for the best, because until and unless you know the grassroots thing, you will not be able to strategize a formula when until and unless you know the funder for it. It's like that. And coming now to my final, so there are times when you get the pre-placement offer, but my company has not given pre-placement offer to any of us who were working there. So we had to come again and struggle for the final placements. So in final placements, I have now been selected as a senior tech consultant for PwC. Now again, technology consultant is very, very different from being a dentist. So, but mostly I will be placed into the healthcare vertical. So don't worry if someone is rejecting you or accepting you, because the interviewers know whether you will fit into that organization or not. So I was rejected from Dr. Reddy's, but now So it is very funny to say that, you got, being a doctor, you're getting rejected from a pharmaceutical company,
Dr.
but
Reddy's and
yeah,
you're
but
getting
now you're
placed
getting
by
accepted to tech
PwC.
consulting. So that is
Correct.
very, very different. So that is what. So it's a nice experience. I would say it's a life-changing experience, and you learn a lot from
Correct.
all, whether it is your summer placements, whether it is your final placement, and everything. So hopefully it will start in July, and I'm looking forward for it.
Great, great. So as you said that the college campus is heaven and you have all the world-class facilities and everything. So in your 2 years of MBA, did you participate in any competitions or something like that, or the other activities, other curricular activities which happen on the campus? Because I'm very sure there will be tons of things which will be happening on every
Yeah, yeah.
college.
So all the time, something or the other keeps happening. It is a very, very busy place. So you have to prioritize things. One thing that you learn at IIM is prioritizing, because there is only 24 hours, and then you always have this. I'm sure everyone must have heard the word called FOMO, that is the fear of missing out. So that is constantly there at campuses like these. So you will slowly and steadily, one learns what should I focus my energy on and what should I not. So for me, yes, I was the part of the dance group called Tal over there for first year, and the second year I became a part of a club called Women in Management, and I held the senior coordinator. And again, I was also in the chess team, so we used to go to play inter IM chess tournaments and everything. And otherwise also there are a lot many things. I mean, when you join, there is a competition, there is a sports competition between classes. Then again, seniors and juniors of the same section come together, and then they again have competition. And constantly there are big fests coming up. I mean, there are two business festivals that are there, which comes up. Then there is a proper cultural festival, and every day in IIM Bangalore, one more special thing was there is that of regional dinners. So regional dinners is a very nice concept where every month you have states a dinner from one state, which is quite interesting, and the teachers also come to have and relish the dinners. So that is another interesting thing that I noted there. So yes, it's full fun, frolic, pressurizing. I think it's one place where you experience everything together. You're sad also, but you're happy also. You are annoyed also, but then you want to do everything also. You want to sleep too, but you do not want to miss out on the parties that are going on. So it is something that you experience it together.
Correct, correct, correct. So, great, great. I mean, you had a ton of a life in 2 years, I must say that. Any closing comments for our audiences? Any special tips on how to get into IIM Bangalore, or what to do in to survive in IIM Bangalore, or something like that you can tell?
So I will say as a closing comment that, guys, there's nothing to worry about. We always fall in the right place. So even if we are not getting into tier one, tier two, tier one colleges or something like that, yes, absolutely, I agree that we want to do things. Everyone wants to get into ABC. I totally agree with it. But I will say that put in your best, and if you have the liberty, or if I will say, if you have the leeway space to, if suppose you do not get in this year and you have the leeway space to study and your family is supporting you, so take a break and then do it again. If you feel confident that you will be able to crack this time, suppose you've got only 87%, 88% this time, or things like that, so there's always a time where you can get into the 90 percentile category or things like that. So if you have leeway space, do not let that opportunity to go, because 1 year is not a big thing in your life, and you will never ever regret it, because everything will be covered when once you join colleges like these. And
Correct.
even if you're joining other colleges, do not worry about it. Just see whether you are a good fit to that college or not, and just see whether this college is something that you will be satisfied with. Because even if you have done MBA and you are not satisfied with it, it will be of no help. So take admission only and only when you feel that, okay, I am satisfied with this college. And yes, everyone is there to help you out. You can reach me out too at any point of time if you want. And I'll be there, whatever guidance required, I'll be all there to help you out.
Thank you so much for such a lovely conversation and giving us time from your busy schedule. I should say that.
Thank you so much for having me.
Wonderful to have you. Hopefully, we can figure out more such sessions.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Yes. Thank
Okay,
you.
take care. Bye bye.
Bye. Bye. Have a nice day.